Hey guys, welcome back to Olson's Garage. So today, we're finally going to be working on the Magna. For real though, I will actually get parts for the dirt bike and we'll put the swing arm back together and we'll fix all the things wrong with it. I'm ordering parts this weekend. I'll put it on my Instagram. And my shameless plug is going to be, please, if you like this kind of content, hit like, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram for the latest updates for what I'm doing in the garage. Okay, so last July, I believe, is when I bought my 1982 Honda Magna. And the Magna is awesome because it has the VF Interceptor Sabre engine in it. So it's kind of a sport bike engine that they threw into a cruiser, which is really fun. It makes it super rowdy to drive. It's very fast. It makes like 80 horsepower. And this is 1982. And it's a 750. Like, what does an MT-07 make? Granted, apples and oranges, we're not really comparing the same thing. One's a parallel twin and one's a V4. But the Magna is really fun to drive. Autumn can hop on the back. We can go for little cruises. When I ride it myself, there's just one thing that I don't really like about it. And that is, it kind of sounds like a boat. And what I mean by that is boat motors, when you stick them in the water, that's kind of their muffler. And it just kind of sounds like intake noise, and there's really nothing coming out of the back. So what inspired this video is I watched a video, I think it was a YouTube short, of this guy with a V65 Magna that put a 4-into-1 exhaust on it, and it actually sounded like your typical RC36 VFR. And it sounded really sweet, and I just haven't gotten that out of my head. So I found a guy who had all these Magna parts. I have an entire engine here. We'll go more into detail about that later. But we just have boxes full of parts and discs, and I mean, most of the stuff is certified clapped. Like these brake levers and clutch lever, I mean, most of this stuff is all stuck. But it's nice to at least have it in here. Some gauges, the shaft. Basically, you have an entire Magna in these boxes and this engine. The only thing that you need is a frame. So the main reason I bought this is because it had a 4-into-1 exhaust. These are so hard to find. I found one on eBay and it was like $200. I got the exhaust, the silencer, those tubes that go from the rear two cylinders, an engine, all this stuff for $250. Now, looking at all this stuff, I kind of think I overpaid maybe a little bit. Some of this stuff is kind of junk, like that tank, full of rust, the secondary tank, full of rust, the radiator, full of rust, well, not rust, but like goopy stuff, and this engine, yikes. It is bad, but we're going to do a rip apart and just kind of see what we have going on, and maybe we'll steal some parts off of this thing for my Magna, because my Magna makes kind of a little bit of a valve train noise. So, back to it. So guys, tonight what we're going to do is repair this exhaust. It has this crack in here, and as I started grinding it, it got worse and worse and worse. So I made this plate, and I'll be honest with you guys, I started welding it already before I realized, I should probably make a video about this. And this will also be testing out the welder, doing exhaust work. Also using the auto set functions, because I'm finding that they work out really, really good. What a surprise. So basically, this is the wrong way to do it, but I don't have a lot of time or a lot of resources to make this perfect and cut this all back up. I'm just going to make a patch so it doesn't have an exhaust leak, and we're kind of going to go with something like that. I took this piece of toolbox spacer that I've been practice welding on, and I cut out this little section, ground it down a couple times, and we came to that. So we're going to weld that on, and we're going to make it look as seamless as possible. So let's get to it. So I did some prep work before I even started making this video. So like I told you guys, I ended up cutting this piece out, and I tacked it on here, and what I used was just a regular hammer, and obviously I was gentle, I wasn't beating it up, but I tack welded it in 3 spots, the 3 spots that already hit the pipe, and then I took the rest of it and just kind of pounded it down. The more I make this video, the more I realize that this is the wrong repair, but at the same time, you can wait forever and do this the right way. Or if you want your bike to sound cool and you don't have all day, and you can't mandrel bend a tube to that exact shape, this will end up working just fine. So I'm going to lay a couple tacks on here. We'll get everything kind of centered back the way she likes, and we'll start welding this thing up. And I'll be able to show you guys on the Everlast how good the power set function works. I don't know what gauge this is, but I think I had it set to 22 gauge. And you guys will also see the power set function on the Everlast. I have it set to 22 gauge with 0.03 wire, and I bumped up my gas just a little bit because I know this isn't exactly perfect. So we're trying to make the optimal argon coverage on here too. Stay tuned and we'll see how this turns out. So MIG C25 power set because we're lazy, 0.03 wire, 22 gauge. And we'll try that out. Oh, damn it. Okay, so that didn't really turn out that bad. I blew through on this backside because it's just really thin back here. I blew through right here just because I didn't stagger my heat. So really when you do this, you kind of want to lay a tack every like ½ inch. So let's pretend that this is 2 inches. You have a tack here, have a tack here, have a tack here, and probably on the end too. So then you fill in that ½ inch, you fill in this ½ inch, you fill in this ½ inch, and then you fill in this ½ inch, so that you're staggering the heat so you don't end up blowing through. What I ended up doing is not exactly, I tried to do that in some spots, but I just wasn't able to. So these aren't the best welds by any means. You could definitely get a better result from TIG. So what I ended up doing is I just kind of made a tack, let it cool down, made a tack, let it cool down. Here I made a little bit of a run, but I did start to get hot here, so I ended up moving to another side. And you just want to stagger your heat as you do this kind of stuff, because this stuff blows through so quick, and then you can really get yourself in a world of hurt once you blow through. Gotta keep on laying tack, 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 tack. So this didn't turn out so bad. So we're gonna use the magic power of a grinder and make this look factory fresh. So stay tuned. Here it is. So granted, we could do more cleanup work. Tomorrow I'm gonna bring home one of those 2-inch cleanup polishing pads, and we'll go through all this and we'll just kind of blend it in a little bit better. And down here we'll just kind of clean everything up. But overall, I mean, yes, I know it's not the proper repair, but this isn't a bad alternative, I feel. And I'm sure in the comments people are gonna have an opinion about what they would do, and honestly, I'm completely open. Tell me what you guys think about this, and tell me what you guys would have done if you had this exact same experience. So guys, I just want to say thanks. My channel's at almost over 100 watch hours, and I'm at like 12 or 1300 views on my 7 videos, and that's awesome. I really appreciate it. So if you guys would like to see more of this content, please like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and follow me on Instagram. And until next time, you guys have a good one.